Okay, next we have the NTE slash Iron Mouse situation is crazy. I play NTE. What is it about? Is that the AI accusation? Well, I mean, I don't know if they use AI or not. I think I've seen something that could resemble it, but honestly, I don't care. They've kind of just seen the background content, right? I really don't give a shit.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so in this stream, we are going to be focusing on the NTE drama. That's Neverness to Everness, a game that's been described as a sort of anime-style sci-fi, GTA, whatever you want to consider it as. But a lot of people are enjoying it. Millions of people are enjoying this game, but it's been mired in some controversy. As you can see from this headline, Neverness to Everness devs have responded to backlash after Iron Mouse dropped their partnership over AI concerns. So ultimately, we're going to end this segment by looking at the official statement from the NTE devs, but the main focus right now is the AI that exists in this game and how people like Iron Mouse and other partners have responded and how people have responded to Iron Mouse and those who have spoken out against the game after working with it. And a lot of people are trying to paint Iron Mouse as a hypocrite. And honestly, as I said earlier, this is a very open-ended discussion.
Why is Iron Mouse being called a hypocrite?
We're definitely still waiting for some details because everything seems like it's very open-ended. So if you feel one way, I'm sure that's fine. Like, I think we're here to have a open discussion about this. And it's going to be a bit nuanced, okay? It's not going to be cut and dry, black and white, hero-villain type situation. I think there's a lot to talk about here. So let's begin with a little bit of a recap here. This time from Hero Hey. We're going to watch a couple minutes of this just to get an idea of where this backlash really began. And then we'll get into some of the reactions on social media.
English VTuber Iron Mouse, as well as a number of English voice actors, are currently in the middle of a bit of a controversy with this new game NTE, or Neverness to Everness, including notorious English VA Kaylee Mills. That's right, English VA.
Womp womp. Ugh. What is she doing this time?
Kaylee Mills, one of the most hated English VAs out there. Many people call her a liar, a doxer, a harasser. All of that in relation to Kaylee's involvement with the massively failed Genshin Impact strike from SAG-AFTRA VAs back in 2025, and what she did to her fellow VA Jacob Takanashi. Let's get the
horrible situation, but also keep in mind too that a lot of the people we're going to be talking about today, Iron Mouse included, have worked with Hoyoverse, who has been pretty open about AI usage in their various IPs, so that is something to keep in mind as well.
Context for this one. It all starts with Iron Mouse in a post from May 5th, which reads, Iron Mouse has dropped her Neverness to Everness sponsorship after finding out that the developers lied to her ad agency about not using generative AI in the game. Clip being 1 minute long, let's take a look.
And they had told my people that there's no AI in it.
From weathering with you on a big TV in the city with an AI filter over it. It's not even a whoops, we forgot to take out the temp assets. It's theft, and they keep lying. Feel sorry for anyone that was involved without knowing about this.
So crazy.
So I'm just gonna pause right there for a second. You can see how very dramatic all this is, right? People are really fired up in our community. I guess a lot of people in our community are very, very against AI, which, you know, whatever. But they're framing it already as theft. That this is theft in something really, really dramatic. And she's playing into it. Again, you can agree with her stance or not, but I do think she is making a pretty big deal out of this.
Already signed contracts without being able to back out.
Bro, I would have never known until I didn't know until I saw that thing on Twitter after the stream. I guess like since I did it, I got pushed. Like a lot of stuff got pushed to me, and then people also added me with stuff. So I saw it and I'm like, what the bro? And they told my sponsor people. They told my sponsor people, they said no. They said we do not have AI in anything. There's no AI anywhere. And it's just like, why are you fucking lying, bro?
Now,
so that's like the big issue here, right? This is where a lot of questions come up. where
Light?
she's talking about a conversation she had with the people who handle her sponsorships, basically the middlemen, right? And we don't really know exactly what was said. That's the problem. We don't know fully what was said. She's claiming that the middlemen here were saying, we talked to them, no AI, and then there's AI in some background assets. And all of a sudden that is upsetting to her and she wants to sever ties and all that stuff.
That's all I got from the whole situation, that they only have AI
really
for background assets.
Went down? Because from what we'll see, there is plenty of evidence out there suggesting that the devs of this game have been open about having AI in their game before and after the game was released. Right? So that's a bit of a controversial aspect of all this. Oliver with the 20, what are the oranges for? Saying, you know, as an Advent AI defender, I think developers using AI for something like temp assets or other things is fair and not worth hating a game for and trying to get canceled for it. If you don't like it, then don't play it. I think that's really as simple as this all boils down to. If you don't like this stuff, then don't play any game that has AI involved, even in assets, because that will cover a lot of games.
Now, the one thing I would be extremely curious about is why would they even try to put AI in it?
It's definitely a pretty big standard if you're just against AI in video games. If it's even used as a background asset,
around AI thing
there's going to be really a lot of why would you try something like that? There. But let's continue on here.
Well, really quick, if you're not familiar with this game, Neverness
is one of the latest Scotch games,
having just released on April 29th, and people are calling it a sort of anime sci-fi GTA. As you'll see in a moment as the video continues, opinions are pretty split on the whole AI usage part of all of this, but regardless of that, if NTE really did lie in business communications, obviously that's a bad move. Equally as obvious, I'm not accusing them of lying, I'm just saying hypothetically if they really did, that's obviously a bad thing. But I haven't seen the communications, I don't know what was said specifically.
That's the big point, okay? So, if they lied in these private communications, I understand why she wouldn't want to keep working with them or would be apprehensive, right? But we don't really know the full conversation here. And if it's really just about these background assets, that's kind of, that's what has a lot of people scratching their heads right now.
We do have a post here that says the sponsor management actually lied and that this is an official statement from the devs. AI is only used on the poster and billboard as placeholders. Now, we'll take a look at this statement. I don't know how legit this is or isn't. We'll take a look at it, though. But this also doesn't mean that they lied or didn't lie in communications. We don't know what the communications are, like I just said. So some public statement doesn't necessarily reflect what they may have said in private communications, which I'm sure everyone understands. But nevertheless...
So basically, there are some public communications that have indicated that the developers have been open about AI usage. It's just a matter of how did this trickle down into the private conversations and how was that relayed? We don't really know, okay? Also, do we even know if they were talking, or Iron Mouse's people were talking to developers or their marketing team? Who were they talking to? And yeah, it's just a lot of empty spots in this story that we don't really know the full context of yet. Did they lie or not? That's the problem. We don't really know if they lied or not. And also then you could even press further and say, well, there are public statements about this. Why didn't they research into this if it's such a hot topic for those involved?
Yes, we have this that says, that gaming thing. Many projects are now promoting AIGC. What is the attitude of Shuhan towards AI in terms of technology and art? I'm laughing at my own horrible pronunciation of that word, my bad. But Yang Lei then says, our bottom line is very clear, and our core assets and character portraits will never touch AI. Second, game players buy emotional value, and everyone is very disgusted with spending money to buy industrial assembly line products. We will mainly use AI to run some atmosphere renderings to see if it is the feeling we want as preliminary work for finding references and a lot of trial and error. Someone says, when was this interview taken? The OP says, this was a Q&A a few days before or after launch. The original is on Bilibili as far as I know. This is an English translation posted on Reddit. Other users saying thank you. And the OP providing the source of that interview over on gamersky.com. Now we'll take a look at some VAs who have also issued statements against NTE.
So this is where it starts getting messy too. So now you have VAs who are either directly involved with the game or not making statements. And that, again, is feeding into the people thinking this is virtue signaling, right? People are so tired of seeing all of this stuff. It's actually off-putting, right? People have a fatigue when it comes to virtue signaling. They pretty much see anything as performative nowadays. And I don't really blame people for that, right? I don't really blame people for being hypersensitive to stuff and thinking, oh, this might be another round of virtue signaling, of performative behavior. But again, going back, is it about lying? Is that the reason she's pulling away from all this stuff? Or is it just AI as a concept? So I don't really know. You know, and Catalyst with the $10 super chat saying, at least emergency food, Corina isn't involved in the situation. Hey, not yet. But let's hear some English VAs who are involved in this situation. Thank you for the 10.
With Kaylee Mills. And by the way, after that, we'll take a look at some of the parts of NTE that people are accusing of being AI generated. You'll be able to take a look and come to your own assessment.
Right,
starting with the response from English VA Kaylee Mills, who says, "It's so important for the people who have the most power to speak up in situations like this. Very proud of Mouse and her team. I hope it leads to positive change." Duality in the responses to Kaylee, with one user saying, "Yeah, I stopped playing when I heard about AI. It's destroying everything, so I'm not going to support AI in anything." Conversely, at the top reads, "She's played multiple games using generative AI. Most all games coming out in the future will use it because it's a great tool. This is just to appease a certain rabid type of crowd. You yourself voice in games that are using it, which is fine. Such performative BS."
Yep.
Kaylee then adding 2 more takes onto her initial one that read, "And by the way, I get why people don't speak up. Some may even have it in their contracts that they can't. Some are just afraid of losing work. More and more, I'm okay with losing work if it means standing on my principles." Kaylee...
Doesn't this sound very familiar, ladies and gentlemen, to the SAG-AFTRA strike? Where it's like, yeah, we want to impose this sort of set of morals onto everyone else, but as for me, well, I'm going to make some exceptions for myself and my friends, and if it comes down to it, if you want to press me about, let's say, Hoyoverse, who I try to work on, them using AI, well, that doesn't really count, and, you know, blah, 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 here's some exceptions. That's what it really feels like to me.
Mills talking about principles. Now that's funny. Going to the second post now, she continues and says, "But I've also been through hell, and I know I can survive it. Even though it felt impossible at first, there are too many amazing creators and properties with great people working on them to worry about being seen as unappealing to those who don't see me as malleable." Top responses to Kaylee, including, "Would you work with them if they remove the AI stuff?" She says, "Yeah, I would. I believe in second chances and betterment, and the fact you're okay losing work to stand on your principles is awesome and deserves mad respect." She says, "I also recognize it's a privilege and not something everyone can afford to do." Yeah, but when is Kaylee...
Okay, that's actually a point that we'll talk about later. Because they will remove these AI assets that are causing this entire situation. Will the people who are angry at NTE and their developers, will they actually come back? So a lot of them are saying, well, if they got rid of this stuff, you know, then I'd be okay with this game. Well, okay, they did. Now what? Are you coming back? I don't know. It's a fair question to raise. I'm just going to play this game more now. A lot of people, you know, they see this stuff and they go, I'm going to play this game even more. I'm going to invest even more into this game. That's just the way people are, right? Already removed? Yep. Already removed. Already moved.
Ever actually done that? It seems like she just takes the stance of whatever SAG-AFTRA demands of her. Another English VA issued a somewhat vague statement that seems to be about NTE and all of this AI controversy, specifically saying, "I recently found out that a game I worked on has been using AI and has been dishonest about it. I want to be clear that I do not support generative AI in any creative field, including voiceover, art, writing, or music. If this is not addressed and removed, I will not be continuing work with this team."
Well, they could definitely just replace her with AI, right? 100% just replace her with AI. That would be the funniest move. I don't know if it's the right move, but it'd be a pretty funny move, right? That'd be pretty funny. You know, Phantom with a 5 saying, if they stop playing anything with generative AI, they may as well stop gaming altogether here very soon. And, you know, from industry experts, I mean, they've been writing articles for a while now, basically saying that you can't play a game nowadays without AI having some role in its development, whether active or as a part of building the game itself. So yeah, these are pretty strict standards they're creating for themselves and also for the future. You know, people are going to hold them to these standards for every game they're going to play, and they're ultimately going to be a hypocrite many times.
Let's take a look at the top responses to this VA. We've got Emerald Apple at the top saying, oh, but coding and software development using AI is fine. Grow the heck up, it's 2026, it's time to get with the program and join the modern times. Bulwark right below that saying, I mean, you were paid, right? You gonna give the money back? And then we got Puro saying, since you now know that they were using AI and being dishonest, it's only right for you to return all the money paid for work you did.
Correct.
You wouldn't want your name to be attached to a horrible thing like AI, right? And all throughout the responses, it seems like most people are actually not supporting her take at all, pointing out various hypocrisies and stuff like that. Starting with this 34-second clip, we'll take a look at some examples of what people are saying is AI generated in-game.
So this is one of the examples of the AI-generated content that everyone's freaking out about right now.
Don't even know.
First, let's hear a few words from the organizer, Giovanni Dvorak.
Hello, everyone. I am Giovanni Dvorak. In this game, you just need to select what you want and bring them out safely. It's simple and fun. I
have not seen that thing in English dub, and I did not feel at all. I thought voice actors were supposed to. I thought voice actors were supposed to lip sync with the scene. What the fuck is this?
Giovanni Dvorak.
Hello, everyone. I am Giovanni Dvorak. In this game,
this is so bad.
To select what you want and bring.
I mean, I thought the reason we had bad localizers was because they tried to lip sync, but now we don't even have that. Anyway, I'm going off topic. What is this?
Them out safely. It's simple and fun. I know you're feeling nervous, just like when I was about to confess to my now wife.
Okay, no, really. People say this is AI. I don't really see it. I do think the animation looks a bit jank. Or maybe looking a bit too smooth for my taste, but the whole game has been a little bit too smooth for my taste when it comes to animation.
It's simple and fun. I know you're feeling nervous, just like when I was about to confess to my now wife.
Thank you, Mr. Giovanni.
I don't know.
I
don't even
care.
The
TV animation clip does look like AI, but the real crime here is playing in the English dub. That's obviously
true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Nekotail. Hello.
Yo, David Martinez with a $10 super chat saying she's having a Latina moment. I've seen this plenty of times, or plenty enough from experience. Very true. I guess you're the expert on that then.
How are you?
We'll get into more of the Iron Mouse stuff in just a second. And then Demon Time with the 10 saying story time. Drove with my mom an hour ago and we witnessed a man stopped for baby ducks suddenly go, turning specifically to hit them. He was in the pest control vehicle, so we reported him to his employer.
What?
Well, I'm glad you reported this person to their employer. That's literally diabolical. What the heck? No, that's some demon time right there. I think
it's funny that the animation and the billboard plus square video was all smooth, and they didn't. And they did an announcement only in English. Oh, they only did announcement in English.
I'm glad you guys reported that.
Hilarious.
Jeez Louise.
They removed the billboard.
But anyways, that's the that's.
I didn't pay attention to that, so I didn't even know.
And we will circle back to the other.
I've seen the billboards, I guess.
But a joke baked in truth, but let's take a look at the duality in the responses here. We've got, ugh, I love the game. Why are they doing this? Conversely, good. I hope they keep doing this for tiny stuff that doesn't matter and is actually kind of funny, so they have more time to focus on stuff that actually matters, like gameplay and story. Hey boss, we're short on time. Can we just use AI to finish this segment faster? Yeah, sure, it's not a big segment. Go for it. It's a non-issue. They're literally doing this to save time for more important parts. Things are getting strange though, because this response says there's a billboard that's just straight up scenes from Weathering with you, but with an AI filter on top of it. I really like this game and I'm enjoying it a lot, but wow, this is not a good look and it's so lazy. But this response says...
Ooh, yeah, I've seen that billboard. Okay,
really?
Now. Yeah.
That's what's
now I remember.
getting
It's
people so
from
upset.
that anime movie, right?
Also, say hello to Straw, everyone. She just snuck her way in. Everyone say hello to wife.
Hi.
She just woke up from a nap. She was tired.
Oh, Straw's in the background.
Did you even record this in the beta? Because it's not present on the current release. I check on the PC, console, and mobile version, and I don't see it. 3 more quick examples here in this post on Reddit that says NTE and AI, ? Showing the first example.
Yeah, I thought that was a good homage.
And the third example. My
your
bad.
Name, right? Your name. That's the movie.
Let me show you one more time. First example.
Like, really? I don't know. You can definitely say you don't like this stuff.
People are claiming that was AI.
Posters in the game, but like, is this really
like what I'm looking at.
A deal breaker for some people? I don't know.
Are we sure it's just not
Kaze
because the art style has been copied so many times it just looks like AI
as
now?
long as I have fun. And as we'll see, I think that represents a lot of people. It really does represent a lot of people. Like, again, people will be mad at me. They'll be like, oh, Rev, you think all generative AI is okay in every circumstance? I'm not saying that. I'm just being real. And I think most gamers, not all, not 99%, but I'd say more than 50%, so the majority, don't really care that much about background stuff being AI generated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's horrible.
I'm willing to go a bit further.
What people actually
I don't think not only background. I think most gamers don't give a shit about AI in general. We, on Twitter.com, is the minority. We really are. Most people don't give a shit. Even if someone were today to make a full game out of just AI, we will still be in a minority. I didn't think it was AI either. I think people are just retarded now and don't understand the difference between reference and AI. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. My opinion of AI,
okay,
as someone who draws stuff,
you can have a disagreement about
really
that.
Don't give a
That's
shit.
fine. I'm not the one, creating the scenario. I'm just observing it, right?
I understand why people are angry about it. Sure.
What are the oranges for? With a 20
it just doesn't concern me.
I never understood the zealous hatred of all things AI. It's a tool. Tools can be misused, but that's what it is. If
tools
we were to pay an artist for their art and I got AI slop in return, I would demand
I could stab someone with a knife right now.
Simple.
I don't think you're gonna ban knife, right?
Take. Anything can be
unless
misused.
You're in UK, of course.
And also,
no,
when
wait,
AI
UK.
is being masked as the real thing,
you can get a knife in UK,
that
can't you?
is the issue. There's a lot of
no,
very...
No, wait, you can't. It just has a high stabbing rate.
There's just a lot of nuance to this. There's really no other way of saying it. And people are so black and white with it when it's not a black and white issue at all. The Gold Recluse with a $5 super chat saying that TV animation reminded me of that one Zelda game. You know the one with "Excuse me, princess," or was that a game?
Excuse me,
not
princess.
Quite sure. Chad, if you could help out this guy whose brain is working on fumes at the moment. If you get what's being said there. And we got Cadbear with the 5 saying if a company uses their own assets to create generative AI, who do we hate? Like, where does the line stop and start? Stop moving the goalposts. I mean, it's just like, for example, when you mention an artist using their own arts to make AI for whatever training purposes that they're doing. Who do you get mad at in that situation? Are they like a traitor? Are they a traitor among artists or something? I don't know.
Any situation like that
yet. Series with Mario.
There's someone who use AI from their own references, from their own training.
People are saying that. The Zelda show from the 80s was cursed. I think I've seen some clips from that, actually. I do remember it being very cursed. And last on the super chat for now is Boeb with the $20 super chat saying, "You can't take Skybro Universe from me."
People still get mad at artists anyway, because then they bring up environment impact.
What are the oranges for? And guys,
environment
I started
impact.
doing this top dono
That's an argument.
thing, and it's getting a little waterlogged.
I think the whole environment impact is a little bit overblown.
Everyone likes,
or at least a little bit disingenuous.
Okay.
If you're going to care about the planet, I can bring up a few examples that's worse than AI does right now.
Four-way tie, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not saying AI doesn't do anything, that it has zero impact.
Getting on the same spot.
But we have some more stupid situations that breaks the environment even more. But we're just going along with it.
Some people did, but not me. I like the classic design better.
Using your own
just my personal opinion.
art/studio asset
for
was
sure.
the
Yo, and
entire pitch
Oliver,
for
thank you for
getting
the
people to use
membership for
AI.
2 months at Giga-Reveling. Saying people saying I don't want AI in any
I don't think that's
creative
the
media
entire
are most
point.
likely the same people who
I
complain
think that is
game
just a package
they like
deal.
is
Like,
taking too long
you can
to
do
come
it,
out. I
but I think
that's
the pitch.
definitely the truth right
Let's
there.
be honest. I think the pitch
Let's
was that
continue on the last
people
minutes
can
of
just
this
skip
video.
hiring people in
Second
general.
example.
I really think that
There's
was the
also
pitch.
a 2-minute fight scene animation that's currently also a point
Business
of contention
people
with some people
are just like
debating
that.
if there's AI use in that fight scene animation or
It's
not.
an ideal
But it's
situation
also
that
a bit out of the scope of this video because
use
a lot
our
of
own
that discourse is
reference.
simply people arguing about
AI,
how good of a
that's-
gotcha fight scene it is.
that's
Some people saying
ideal,
it's the best
but
they've
I
ever
don't
seen in a
think that's
gotcha game.
what
Other
people are selling.
saying it's not. So like I said, a bit out of the scope of this video. This is to say that that's like all the main stuff. Let me know what you think about the
Initial,
latest.
not
and if
entire.
you think the statements people are making have validity to them,
I
or
see.
do you think people are blowing the stuff way out of proportion, or what? I'll leave it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with his approach here too. It's like, leave it up to people to come to their own conclusion, because ultimately I can present all this stuff to you, and a lot of people have preconceived beliefs about AI usage in video games, and like some people are super strong one way or the other, and I'm not going to change their opinion, but looking at the totality of this set of circumstances, we'll have to
I'm not going to change
let
people's
people
opinion
form
about
their
it
own
either.
opinions. Okay, we
If
need
people
multiple
don't like AI,
07s in the chat, ladies and
it's
gentlemen.
whatever.
First of all,
I understand them,
BB Dest
kind of.
3082 with the $50 super chat, the 50 bones, saying breaking formation. Thank you very much for that 50 spot from you. But then, not to be outdone, Patrick,
I remember
with
Jazz's first video on AI that was his
$50
approach.
donation as well,
Then he
saying,
made
what?
another video saying
Are my
he doesn't
$20
use
not
AI
good enough
any AI
for
at all.
you? Do I have to
I have
give
seen
you
that
the
video,
raspberry?
and I've seen his follow-up video
Listen, you
years
didn't
later.
have to give me the raspberry. Or pink,
He just
whatever
changed
you
his
wanna
mind
consider it. I
because
thought
he
it
was
red
looking
for the
further
longest time.
into
That was my
it.
bad.
But I think his
But yes,
reasoning for both videos
you
are
have
kind of valid.
Once again, taken sole
Or
leadership.
part of it
here,
at least. I don't remember the full context
because
of the
we
videos
combine it
anymore,
with the 20
but
from earlier.
if I remember
the
from the
math,
second
according
video,
to
is that
me,
he doesn't like the
that checks out
results
to
coming
about,
from AIs
70.
these days.
Patrick with 70 on the day.
And I kind of have to agree with
Absolute
him on
mad
that.
lad.
The
07's in the
results
chat
from
for Patrick. And
the AI
BB
slot
Dest
has
as
kind of been
well,
really
that 50.
bad.
Back-to-back 50
To the point
spots
of being
right
a little
there.
bit annoying. It's
Let
not
me
even
turn on some
funny
music, 'cause we're
anymore.
going to read some tweets for a bit here.
Not to say that we
But thank
don't
you
get
guys
any
so much
funny
for that.
AI stuff.
You're too
It's just
based.
that the
Too
overwhelming
based, too
amount
generous.
of trash is just...
That's right.
It's just too much.
Straub says, who's right next to me,
I'm
I'm not caught up on this drama, but I think if it's disclosed, then it's fine. I do worry about future games just being told AI slop, but ultimately, if that happens and people don't like it, just don't buy it. Yeah, the market will correct itself if you do.
Yeah, the market will correct itself,
speak
as
with your
always.
wallet. And there is AI slop.
Regardless if you use AI or not.
AI slop.
If you
and
cannot
people
make a
don't like
good
them.
game, people will not pay for it.
Elon Musk wanted to create a studio of nothing but AI slop.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
what
heard
happened to
anything about
that?
it. He said that like a year plus
Elon
ago.
Musk wasn't
Have
making
not
a game.
heard anything because I don't think anybody wanted that. But wait a second, ladies and gentlemen. I know this one. This one is red. BB Dest with the $100 super chat. The 100 bones. Saying pretty sure this one is red. You would be correct. you'd be 100% correct. Can we get some 07s in the chat for
still
BB
require
Desk?
effort to get good results, but the majority of users aren't aiming for that. Yeah. I think AI can be used properly. Now, despite what everyone says, I don't think AI is just press button, say something, and then it cheat out everything. I really don't think it's that easy. I mean, it is much easier than drawing on hand, sure. That's just a given, right? But you still need the skill of a composer. You need to compose your results to make something coherent. At the current stage of AI, I think you still need to be a composer. We cannot just tell AI to make a 30-minute movie. We can't do that yet. I don't think we can do that this year or next year. Maybe in 5 years, sure. But right now, it's really not that easy. And I can bring up an example of someone who really knows how to use AI. 2 of them. One of them, I think, was called Skybrow or something. He doesn't make everything perfect. He doesn't make everything great. But when he does, he makes something impressive. And he didn't do that just because he pressed a button or wrote 2 lines of sentence. He had to put them together. The second person is Leaflet. She's a VTuber, like most of us, and she's been around for longer than most of us. She also used multiple AI to get different outputs, and then she herself has to compose them together, and had to do post-editing too. It's just how it is. Let's see. That means she did a movie production job by eliminating artists and eliminating writers. She basically eliminated 2 people. But in return, she herself has to become the writer. Or rather, well, I did say writer, but I did say she eliminated the writer, but she also has to be the writer herself. She has to be the writer, she has to be the composer, and she has to be the final touch, right? By the end of the day, she still has to be smart enough to use them. Alice gets some really good renders too. Right, I forgot, she does use AI. I mostly remember her for using Koikatsu stuff. I haven't seen her on my Twitter feed in a long time. Oh, well, that's how it goes.
Actual Mad Lad. Adding on 100 bones.
I am just indifferent to the whole AI thing anyway.
Thank you very much for that, dude. You're far too generous. I am just a humble drama merchant. Okay?
I like to go with
you guys
the flow.
Don't gotta do all this.
If it works out, cool.
But thank you
if it
very
doesn't
much
work out,
for that.
Cool.
Yeah, 07s.
Too many artists and writers don't want to work with Leaflet before using AI anyway,
video
so
from Hero
what
Hey.
could be
I'm sure
done
you
in
guys
such
know
a situation?
Hero Hey, and if you enjoy his content, be sure to check it out.
Because Leaflet is so quote-unquote problematic.
Stems from very
few people actually want to work with her. And you know what?
Well,
whatever.
It mainly has to do with the clip.
It's not like they lost any business because they decided not to do business with her.
Someone calling it theft, and basically the main
takeaway here an old account
is that she feels like she was lied to.
She also
that the people she was in contact with,
it's always like this.
We're talking to the NTE devs or the team. If it was the devs or the marketing team, we're not sure. But they claim there's no AI. She discovers AI and doesn't want anything to do with the game anymore. And ultimately, you can see that it boils down to a couple background images, right? There's nothing that is game breaking. It's not involved in any sort of a way with
she deleted it.
The main storyline. It's just a couple background images and one little music video, right? A cutscene. And that's the crux of what we're talking about. Now you can see people starting to point out hypocrisy. What they believe is hypocrisy, okay?
Wait,
this person's saying, I genuinely wonder why NTE gets all of the lashings when Hoyo has been using AI in their games for the longest time, like HSR has a whole AI-generated region called Penacony.
Is that true? I didn't even know that. HSR, that's Star Rail, right?
So you can see here, you know, Iron Mouse, for example, has played
Oh
Honkai
no!
Impact,
Oh no!
Honkai
She's streamed that game.
Rail.
Oh wow!
She has played Hoyo games and been sponsored to play.
She probably
Hoyo
didn't
games,
know.
and they've never really shied
I think you could give her a
away
benefit
from
of that. She probably
the fact
didn't
that
know.
they use AI. It's not really a big deal to them, and they're very open about it. And the problem is, like I said, is it just about the line? Is that 100% of her decision? Is that she feels like she was lied to?
Yeah, I didn't hear about the Genji stuff either.
Because we don't know the communications; they're
That's
private.
news to me.
And on top of that, the standard about AI is going to be used against her for everything she's involved with, and that unfortunately is just the way it is. Yo, Catalyst with a $10 super chat saying, one word of caution: the market never corrected Google/Alphabet's near monopoly on video sharing longer form videos through YouTube. Yeah, with people talking about all the concerns with YouTube recently, people are like, oh, what about like other alternatives? Unfortunately, nothing
Alternatives
is
with
within
YouTube?
a stratosphere.
Are you fucking smoking?
Of YouTube when it comes to what they do.
We tried to have alternatives before, but they all died.
They're not obligated to tell her. I think it's more of it's just an optics thing, right? But they were public about the fact they were using AI before the game released and afterwards. But we'll keep going here. Here's another user saying, no offense at Iron Mouse, but this is pretty hypocritical when you played Resident Evil 9, where the devs confirmed they had assets made with AI. And then you have other people saying, where is the standard? So E33 AI is okay, but NTE is not. And that has to do with the whole Expedition 33 situation where they had AI generated background assets. And they eventually removed it with a patch, but it caused a whole host of controversy, and people were really mad about this whole thing, to the point where the Indie Game Awards removed their win.
Wait,
it was that big of a deal, and a lot of people were mad about that, saying, oh, this is performative. And, well...
They took away
I kind of understand
win
why in this
because
scenario. So people are seeing her being involved with that. And
is it real?
You can see some more posts like this person saying, I bet MiHoYo didn't went to any of its sponsored streamers and said, get sponsored by us. By the way, we have AI. I hope you are okay with that. Also, didn't Iron Mouse do a cover for E33? Wait until she finds out that E33 also has AI used in assets too.
Who cares about the Game Awards?
Being upset at the
it's been
AI
dog shit for 3 years now.
But not complaining at all with Genshin's or E33's, to the point of playing and singing covers for those games. Who would even make a cover for a game that has AI assets in it? That's kind of weird to promote. So again, people are going to take this, but it's ultimately like, is she just mad because she feels like she was lied to? And this is somewhat supported by this clip I found. So I'm going to pause the music so you guys can hear a little bit better here. But in this, she talks about placeholders with AI. So let's listen to this.
Listen, I could understand, like, as much as I don't like the aspect of AI as a placeholder, like, I think that's bullshit. But, like, I understand them using that. As long as they replace it, that's fine. But this shit that I saw, That is
The
like,
initial expeditions were actually dealt
here's
with
the thing, okay?
pure
It
developers
would
that
be
use
one thing
AI
if
as
they
their
had it and they're like,
prototype.
oh shit,
Otherwise,
sorry
what visual
guys,
would they have to
we put
reference
that
later?
in there and we forgot to
So
take it out.
stupid.
But that's not what happened. They have it in there and they lie and say that there's... That's the problem. The problem is that they're just straight up like, oh, okay, we're straight up just allowing this shit and then this is okay. Okay, I got it. Alright.
So, on the one hand in the clip, she's talking about like not really having a big issue with placeholders, but at the same rate, she's talking about NTE and describing like when she saw the stuff, she was just like, whoa, what does that mean? Right? So she's acting like there's some big AI component to this game, but that's not really true. Like, does she know something we don't know? Because from what we know and what is very clear is that it's just a couple background assets in like a cutscene, right? So it's not that big of a deal. And she says, like, it's not a big deal if they fix these small things. Well, spoiler alert, they're going to fix these things. So now what? What do we do? Because I'm trying to kind of play a side for her where I'm like, well, it's more about the fact that she feels lied to about the presence of AI. But this clip kind of suggests it's just about AI, right? Where that's like, the fact that it's in the game is causing the issue. And if this sounds sloppy, it's because it is sloppy. Right? I don't think this was like the best idea to talk about in this manner. Because people are going to pick apart your words. Like, unfortunately, that's the internet. So her statements here, they're kind of pointing towards it's just a matter of principle about AI. And then that kind of supports people calling her a hypocrite, saying, well, you've played plenty of other games and taken sponsorships for other games that use AI as well. Phoenix had a point on side-scrollers. Why does the studio have to disclose this anyways? And this is hypocritical. Placeholder is fine, but if AI wasn't used for that, a human could have done it. Yeah, it's a very fair point. Phoenix made a good one there. But yeah, that is a good question. Why do they have to disclose it? And also, if a placeholder is fine, what's her issue with this game? I don't know. It's getting messy, ladies and gentlemen. But here's a post.
I don't think
a lot
she
of
said it
people
was
are
fine.
reacting to. Let me just read it real quick.
I think she just said she understands.
Team/agency lied, or they are
I don't think that's
incompetent when
quite
it
the
comes to
same.
the NTE sponsorship. Whenever I get an
Because
offer for
earlier
a
she said it was
sponsorship, I always
bullshit
tell
anyway,
people you
right?
can make sure, double, triple, quadruple check that this does not have AI in it. I will not accept it if it does. And then they assured me no. Don't
these
worry,
people
you're
making
good.
their life
It's
really
fine.
difficult for themselves.
They told my sponsor people and said, we do not have AI in anything. There's no AI anywhere. That's just her word on the exact private communication and no actual proof that the developers communicated in this manner. Iron Mouse always had a hardline public stance about no AI anywhere and told her team to double, triple, and quadruple check for any AI use. Not AI in the final game, not AI and just core assets, any AI. Either the studio oversold the no AI angle, or her agency didn't do due diligence. Again, like I mentioned earlier, this was public information about AI being in this game before its release. But then this post says, NTE uses AI for atmospheric renderings, and it's in the game assets right now. The core development process, code, and other elements
use AI for rendering?
AI heavily in
What,
the workflow.
like the RTX?
Even admitted
The
in an
graphic
interview
cards?
that AI was used, easily searchable on
Is
the
that
internet.
going to be a problem now?
So it boils down to two options where they know but didn't care and got money anyway,
Or am I
were
misunderstanding what they're
incompetent
talking
and
about?
didn't bother to do a simple Google search. Personally, I think it's all just hypocrisy with her long-standing Nikkei ties, where the game studio had been using AI in promotional materials and game assets, with ShiftUp's
Nikkei?
CEO basically saying AI isn't an option anymore, it's a requirement. And you can see some of this stuff here, reflecting what their post was made. I think more info is needed before making judgments. And I feel the same way. I would like to see the private communications. Do I think we're going to see the private communications? No. Do I think we have a right to the private communications? No. You know, I don't think they're going to show any of this stuff, unfortunately. So people are making assumptions on top of assumptions. But that's the problem when you make things like this a public matter, right? Yeah. I think this is a very complex one. It's only present in an article which might not have landed on Mouse's team. Well, I guess, you know, ultimately it's like, do you think they're responsible for doing the research on that when they say they quadruple check to make sure there's no AI involved whatsoever? And of course, you had a bunch of VAs talking about, including
it sounds like miscommunication somewhere.
Right at the time of all this, saying AI is stinky poo-poo. And people are roasting her in the comments. And again, how legitimate her concern is, I don't think people really even care. I think they detect this as virtue signaling, and that's the way they're reacting. Again, don't be mad at me. I'm just saying what people are doing, right? People just kind of have a fatigue. And then you're not even getting into the voice actors involved with this who are essentially saying, well, I can't be a part of this. Well, in a halfway serious company, they would just replace her.
They just want some internet cookies, you know?
Did.
Usual stuff.
This is what NTE did. They responded by saying, "Dear appraisers, thank you for the feedback. It matters to us. Neverness to Everness is built on human creativity. The characters, stories, and world you experience are the work of artists, writers, and designers. AI-assisted tools were used only on a small number of background and environmental assets, not on the characters or stories that define this game. We're already reviewing and reworking the flagged assets, Clear Skies in Summer and Pink Paws Heist. Your feedback shapes this game, so please keep it coming. We're listening and we're committed to delivering the quality you deserve. Sincerely,
so they've been looking into
team.
And they're going to
now,
be removed or something, right?
Well, people are looking at this in different ways. Number one, there's a lot of people who said if they remove these flagged assets, we're good. So where are these people now? Right? Stinky poo-poo, where are you? Yeah, exactly, where are you now? There's no stinky poo-poo left in this game. It's been removed. Is this game cool now? I don't really know. Blown out of proportion, that's kind of the thing. I think this whole thing is blown out of proportion. But here's the other response a lot of people are saying about this post, that they're going to, in a sense, capitulate and remove this stuff. Just ignore the loud regards. They hate games because it's successful and many people enjoy it more than their beloved games. It was never about AI use. Even if it was AI generated, people that enjoy the game do not give a crap about it. 3,400 likes.
People complaining. Are they even playing
Nobody
the game?
is complaining about it, but performative Western idiots anyways.
It could all just be performative, like everything else.
Make sure to also fix those ENVAs by replacing them with some professional VAs instead. Learn from Hoyo's mistakes and stop hiring activists. They are never good for your game. Here's another one saying, you should not have bent the knee to virtue signaling mobs. They do not play your game and will demand more of you despite continuing to not play your game. Never bend the knee to these people. And that opens up the, I guess, the question of where does this end? If people start complaining about more stuff in the game, will they quote unquote bend the knee again? I'm not too sure. But I understand where people are coming from. The sort of pattern of, if enough people complain about something, we'll change it. Well, does that keep working forever and ever? We'll have to wait and see. Okay? But I don't know. What do you guys think about them saying that they're going to fix this stuff? That clearly they're taking in what people are saying on social media. Do you think it's a nothing burger or they're bending the knee? I don't know.
They might bend the knee.
I think it was such a small amount of things in the game anyways. They probably just
they're
going
to try to bend the knee at least.
It's just not
if it doesn't work out, they're probably
honestly,
going to ignore the whole thing.
A couple small things, like they might as well just get it.
But I don't think people are going to be satisfied regardless of the
Not even
outcome.
an issue.
And honestly, like,
They already
with
set the
billboard
target.
stuff, they literally just put placeholders in. Like, I don't even know if they're going to actually bother putting real art, because it's so insignificant. It's just like a billboard in the background. So, yeah. Both. I think it's somewhere in the middle.
I just don't get why people are like anyone who would be like mad at the company now though. It's
You think they're gonna replace the
stupid to like
assets eventually?
I don't know, cause more issues for them.
I don't know. I feel like it probably wouldn't, because
I think
it's just a
the problem
background stuff.
is people are like, well, where does it end? Is this going to be like the starting
Would it
point?
really?
And, you know, I know. But
regardless if they wanted to or
and
not,
see.
I really don't think
I
it matters.
everyone's dramatic on both sides. You know, people are being dramatic both ways.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And I see where these people are coming, where they're trying to say you bent the knee, because they did technically bend the knee, or maybe they're just giving people what they're asking for. But I think this is an issue that is exclusive to the Western side
At the end of the day,
I'm sorry
it's
to
a
say
company.
it. I don't think anyone else is mad about this.
They would
at
at
all.
least try to appease the players, their customer base. We're gonna see what happens,
If
right?
it's just like background assets, then they should just replace it. They would have gotten called out on this stuff at some point. Yeah, I don't know. But the thing is, the next question is, for all the people,
They're
including
probably
Iron
hoping
Mouse,
to
who had
prioritize
an
fixing
issue
bugs
with
in the
this,
future
does
for a
them
while.
fixing this
And the
bring
placeholder
anyone
asset
back?
at least fit in the world vision they had.
All I'm gonna say is it's not that deep. Yeah, that's pretty much where I feel about this. It's only Western Twitter. I mean, that's many such cases, right? Many such cases.
Twitter freaks!
But then there's posts like this, and I mean, I remember seeing this. How many is this at now? 6,000 likes. I remember seeing this. It had like 100 likes in the first couple hours, and it just like blew up. This person saying, so like I said, Iron Mouse lied. NTE admitted to using generative AI before launch. Iron Mouse played the game and got her money from the sponsorship, then virtue signaled and pulled the ladder up behind her. It's actually crazy how people ignore
I don't
the
think it's
egregious
that deep,
behavior
boys.
of
Come
these
on.
streamers, where they show a screenshot from the interview.
It's a
where they
Chinese
have
company.
openly
I'm sure
talked
there's
about this
way
stuff
more
in the
AI people
past.
haven't noticed.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really think this is really going to change much, because at the end of the day,
It's
again,
a country that really doesn't
this
give a
was
shit about
public
stealing.
information, but I don't think they were aware. Clearly,
I don't
Iron
think
Mouse's
AI
team was
is
not aware of it.
beneath them.
And it ultimately boils down to whether or not those private communications were the deciding factor, right, for Iron Mouse. I think as a company, it's a reasonable move. Doubt they'll lose anybody over changing these small details, even if they don't gain much. Yeah, I don't think they're going to gain much. I don't think they're going to gain anything from doing this. I think it's a matter of stopping people from leaving and trying to quiet down the drama. Because now people really can't complain, right? They took care of the sole complaints about this game. That's the AI assets. Yeah. What were you saying?
Some of your chat said I need to keep my mouth shut, basically, and only speak in chat. And I said I'm allowed to talk.
Yeah, I don't think that's how things work around here, buddy.
They said to give you advice because there are men watching and listening, so I don't need to be speaking.
Well, man here, my wife can speak however much she wants to on stream, and I think everyone who's normal in the chat agrees with that, so very simple.
Shut
Please,
up,
Rob,
woman!
Speak more. There we go. Yep. That's kind of the response I expected. But yeah, there's a whole nother aspect to all this, guys, that is a bit interesting. Another post here saying Iron Mouse, Shy Lily, Amelie, and even the VA for the game have come out against usage of AI in Neverness. To Everness, they cite being lied to about the use of AI, as well as being protective of the artists and voice actors for whom AI threatens. What about
They
the
don't back
programmers?
down if someone
what about the
challenges them.
developers? Generative AI today is used universally in the development of software and has already led to the loss of many software development jobs, especially for junior entry-level jobs. AI is
Alright,
already in the
have
game,
fun.
software,
Thank you for stopping by and try not to die.
website, or in every game, I should say, software, website, and yes, even on the back end of Twitch. Oh, but it's a different technology. No, generative AI, whether it's LLMs or Claude Code or AI art videos uses the same kind of transformer algorithm AI is already used in tons of games, especially in code, and they don't disclose that just because it's not art assets. Requiring disclosure only for creative tasks, not for programming, is a double standard. You people don't care about other people's livelihoods. You only care about the optics of playing a game on stream or taking sponsors now that the drama has unfolded into mainstream discourse. But they don't care about AI that is used in Nikkei art assets, or that AI was used in Expedition 33, or that AI was used in the software for all modern games. AI is transforming how work gets done across every creative and tech industry, just like previous tech waves did. Crashing out about the difference between creative and technical is stupid when both are replacing / augmenting human labor in exactly parallel ways. TLDR, pretending AI in programming is somehow different and harmless while AI in art is an existential threat, is pure, unadulterated hypocrisy. So, thoughts on that, guys? I think that is a decent point, right? Like, if you're going to have this all or nothing mentality with AI usage for arts, what about code? What about the development of the game itself, programming in general? I think you have to be consistent across the board. And then if you are consistent across the board, you're going to have a very hard time playing video games. That's for sure. I think that's a fair take.
I don't think people like AI codes either.
With that. I think this is the thing. It's like Pandora's box. If you're expressing concerns in one aspect, this gets really, really far expanding. Okay? And eventually, what are you even going to do? Right? What are you even going to play? Are you going to use your phone? Are you going to use Google anymore? I don't really know. But I think this was a good post. And
people don't like Google either, so...
From Patrick saying, "We love hearing from you, Straub."
Thank you.
Aw, how sweet.
Thanks. I'll be back.
Okay. But thank you for the 20, Patrick. I really appreciate that very much. You Giga Chad, you. And Demon Time with the 5 saying, "Chibi just dropped a funny video. Crunchyroll announced a sale for new," and get this, "returning subscribers." They are so desperate. Yeah, I would definitely check out anything with, after anything with Crunchyroll. I mean, it's just a complete disaster, but I'll look into that a little later. Thank you, Demon, for that. And Rev, the Lily fans might come after you because you criticize their Oshi. I mean, many such cases, guys. They're pretty much any popular indie VTuber, if you dare to say anything about them or anything that slightly touches their orbit, you're dead to a lot of people. Yo, and Billy Donuts, welcome in, dude. Good to see you. And Angels Lance with $2 saying, "Terrible point. These are two different fields." Well, I think it's not just that they're different fields. It's that it's just AI and anything it touches. And I think in the gaming industry, it's not just about assets that are AI generated or arts. You start getting into programming and coding. It's very complex, but you're free to disagree with that. That's definitely valid. And the Gold Recruit. Oh my gosh. What is with your name today? I cannot say your name. The Gold Recluse with the $5 super chat saying, "I think in the field of media, no matter how advanced AI becomes, it will never take humanity's place. Mankind prevails always." Based? Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. And the Gold Warrior with 2 saying, "Straub says Desu."
Desu.
There we go. There you have it, folks. And also, Shroom Boy with a $2 super chat as well. Thank you for that. But there's one more thing I want to show involving the whole NTE situation. There's a take from Asmongold, of course. He, of course, has a take about it.
Oh,
and
of
curious
course.
what you guys think.
He likes
we'll
AI.
listen to this for a little bit. And also, I want to look at the comment section on his video related to this, and I think it kind of answers the burning question of what do people generally think about this situation. So let me pause the music and we will play this.
Is that if you're trying to draw a line in the sand with not playing video games made with AI, my best advice to you is to stop playing video games. And the reason why is because a lot of these studios are using AI, but they're just not telling people because it's just part of the development process. It's not, there's no like grand design here. It's just that's what people do, right? They're using it with everything. They're using it with pre-production. And they've said, by the way, Hottest Studio, these are the people that made Neverness to Everness, stated AI is used only for pre-production renderings and never for core assets or final content. But apparent AI-generated billboards and cutscenes with visual inconsistencies are present in the released game. So they said that there was an AI, and there seems to be. Well, we don't know this for sure, but it seems to be the case.
Yeah, it's definitely the case. I mean, now we know for sure because the developers actually acknowledged it, but yes, that is the case. And the whole disclosure thing is, like, who is requiring them to disclose
the only thing I
mean,
didn't like about the whole thing is that they lied.
A PR move to
I guess that's about it.
No, that's a whole other topic.
I think they should just have been honest about it.
Mega Man and Metroid, yeah, exactly. And so who gives a fuck about
go back to playing with sticks and rocks. That's all you can do now. I am AI clean. I play with nothing but sticks and rocks. I'm clean.
I don't think anybody really cares, and this is the problem, is that I think there is a manufactured outrage around AI. There is a massive manufactured outrage around AI, and I think the reason why is because you have all
Steam
these
does,
people
yes.
who are...
Steam does require
You have
disclosure.
all these people that are trying to push the idea of like AI being this horrible thing, but the reason why they're actually pushing AI being this horrible thing is because AI stands to put their job at risk. So it actually doesn't have anything to do with AI fundamentally, and if it wasn't for that one thing, they'd be totally okay with it. Resident Evil 9, where developers admitted the assets like the TV in bed were made with AI.
The context is omitting that Hota also said that AI would be in atmospheric renderings, which covers the billboard. Yeah, they did say that, yes. That is important additional context. Also, just because something has a note doesn't mean the note is all-encompassing. And it seems like, yeah, they did say that it'd be the atmospheric renderings, which I think covers the billboards. Now, the videos and that stuff, debatable, but at least with the billboards. Then again, you got to pause and reflect. What are we talking about here? We're mainly talking about billboards in the background of the game that ultimately don't matter. And I think that's kind of the attitude as to why they were made with AI in the first place. They didn't really care. I'm sorry to pull back the magician's curtain here, but and I guess be a pessimist, but I don't think the developers cared that much about the billboards in the background. And they looked for a shortcut. And that's it. And now they're getting burned for it because people care. But hey, I'm just saying.
Is that true?
I guess there's a point.
Let me look and see this. This is just a playthrough of her playing
They
the
didn't
game.
care enough about it to
And so, yeah, it's Terminator.
put much more effort into some
I don't think it's
billboards.
jealousy. I don't think that's the right word. But anyway, so let's go back. I will no push AI.
You know what? I think GTA 6 is going to do the same thing.
Let's not date with men. I'll no longer be
It's
playing
definitely
AI.
put some AI shit in the background.
And I care about supporting media that supports artists
I
and
can't
supports our planet and
wait.
keeps it safe. Is this person also another artist? I have no idea if
I got you blocked, bro.
What is this here to all the AI bros in your comments here? Your lack of empathy for our Earth, the only one, the animals we have here. Like, what? The animals?
See, like, this is the thing I'm talking about, guys. Even if you have some valid point to be made, when you're making your post about this game, and you start talking about people's lack of empathy for the Earth, and that they don't care about saving animals harmed by the use of AI, do you understand how quickly the average person's not going to care about what you're saying anymore? Oh, but Rev, that's not fair. I don't care. That's just the way people are. Like, don't shoot the messenger. But when you start talking like that, people shut down. In fact, if anything, people are going to have the opposite opinion to spite you. AI is, yeah, they're targeting the animals. It just comes off as pretentious. I'm sorry. That's the way people view this sort of conversation. My eyes glazed over in many such cases.
Animals. What does AI have to do with animals? So, Once again, it's the artsy-fartsy theater kids, you're right. Well, and these are the people that always have to create some sort of, theatrics, right? There has to be some sort of thing that they're getting upset about or mad about or whatever. And, yeah, the amount of energy it consumes. Yeah, but I mean, like, obviously there's a lot of things that consume a lot of energy, right? I mean, AI isn't the only thing that consumes a lot of energy.
Yeah, do people think that AI is the only thing in the world that consumes energy? Especially like people will say, well, it's not necessary. Are a lot of things we use necessary that require fuel consumption and might harm the environment?
One that consumes energy.
TikTok and Twitter.
TikTok, this computer you're watching it on, this phone you're tweeting on about this game, like, you know what I mean?
Ooh, computers.
Sounds like some hippie gobbledygook. That's right.
Like, I don't even understand this.
Your fucking Starbucks is consuming energy.
Work they're now discarding. Well, I think it's more than that. I think the truth is that every single game that you're going to play, there are going to be games that you can tell are made by AI, and there's going to be games that you can't tell are made by AI. I don't think that there are going to be that many games that are not made with AI. And if you want to make the argument that, for example, like it takes jobs away from people, if you have AI that's doing pre-production or it's doing storyboarding or some other variation of that, fundamentally, that is a job that a person used to have that's now being taken away from that person and being given to AI instead. So even if it doesn't make it to the final product, if AI is being used in the creative process, it's probably being used in order to mass produce work that would have otherwise had to have been paid for.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really even understand this distinction, because really the problem is, if you have a problem with generative AI, then I think that you should have a problem with it categorically, right? You shouldn't have a problem.
And that was the point that we were just talking about. I think if you do have an issue with it on the level we're talking about with this game, you should have an issue with it categorically, with everything that it touches, right? It's a very big expanding standard
the replacement
that you're going to adopt.
It's been happening for many years, right?
And these were the comments on Asmongold's video.
A job is now replaced by something much easier.
And I noticed too, like, I go to
I'm not
any
entirely
video
sure
talking
what
about
AI
this,
is the thing people are reacting to now.
Everyone who's talking about this, even in a neutral sense, like even just displaying what's happening, they have an extremely high volume of dislikes, like double, triple, 5 times as high as they normally have. Because this is such a hot topic for people, and people are so aggressive about it that even talking about it pisses people off. But here's some of the comments, right? Saying, I bet none of these people are boycotting Amazon for using robots to replace warehouse workers. I'm also sure they probably don't care about the working conditions of those warehouse employees either, but they still have Amazon packages showing up every single day to their house. But anyways.
Or you can say they care, but like people, it's not like people don't care. But at the same time, like, people have become accustomed to using certain things and, like, the convenience of things.
Yes.
And they're not thinking about it. Just like when people would say, like, oh, you're on Twitter, so that means you agree with everything Elon does because you're funding him, because you have Twitter Blue, or you go on Twitter. It's like, or you have a phone, so you're okay with, like, all the child slave labor to make your phone.
People just want to use that selectively, and that's the problem. When you, like, point out in one scenario, this is so horrible, like, the person right there saying this game is harming animals because it has AI usage. Right. It's like, okay, now we're going to look at your Twitter account and see that you're using Twitter Blue and you're doing this. And exactly. It's like you open yourself up to these criticisms that we know you probably do care about the fundamental issues, but when you're using it, you're weaponizing the concern in one case. You're opening yourself up to all cases.
There's a lot of people who hate Elon Musk.
This comment says
don't want to fund him, but for some reason they paid for Twitter Blue. I don't really understand it.
There's the conversation.
It's just the truth.
It's just the truth.
That's just
and people
weird.
will be mad. People will be mad. I'm sure someone's going to seethe about this on Twitter or something, being like, Rev doesn't care about generative AI. He doesn't care about artists and all this stuff. I'm just pointing out that the average gamer does not care. If the game is good, they do not care if it has generative AI, especially for background assets. They don't care. That's it. And if you disagree with me, whatever. Disagree with me all you want. It's the reality. This is a very poignant observation. People ultimately don't care about these things if the game is enjoyable.
Also, like, normies don't care about AI.
Normies do not care about AI. Have you met, like, normal people, like, in like, the average normie? They're using AI for, like, cat videos and all this stuff. They don't care.
Like, people, like, if I go on my IRL social media, everyone's using, like, AI filters to turn themselves into, like, you know, like, for the holidays, everyone was making themselves with, like, Christmas images, and, like they all use ChatGPT.
Oh, but that's so wrong! How are you okay with that? No one's, endorsing this stuff, but that's just how people are.
They just don't think about it.
They just don't care.
But also, I remember when AI was first a thing, like, when it was first becoming a thing with VTubers, there were a ton of VTubers that were using it, and it wasn't until after people started saying, like, this is bad, that those VTubers later on started having a really strong anti-AI
That's
stance.
right.
It wasn't that was their natural
Everyone
response.
uses AI in this very early stage.
Like, that's what has, you know,
I don't think they can use the
My
excuse
buddy
of
is a normie and he
they
does
didn't
not
know
care
about
about
the
AI
training.
since he uses the chatbot and he has created
Everyone with a little
images
bit of a
with
brain
AI.
could figure out
Normal
that
people
AI
and the amount
had
of,
to be
let's say,
trained with something.
ChatGPT they use is alarming. Okay, if you think
it's scary,
like
really.
if you're having like convulsions and like you're about to have a stroke over this game using a couple background assets with AI, go like talk to some normal people in like the 5 different AI chatbots they're using simultaneously, right?
No, please don't tell them to go to talk to someone.
They're
They're gonna cause a fucking scene and end up on YouTube.
Yeah, see, that's
or
a
a
huge
TikTok.
concern.
Literally, like,
kids are not learning.
Yeah, that's what we should be focused on and worried about, not
Absolutely.
billboards and games.
Yep. But that's really all I have for the NTE Global stuff. NTE Global. I'm like reading their Twitter. We don't care about the game. It's the Twitter accounts. Dang it. But it's really all I had to say about the NTE situation. You can come to your own conclusions. I expect people to disagree, and that's totally fine, but got to deal with realities here, and I think there is a lot of virtue signaling about this stuff. I think people are being extreme on all ends, and I think overall it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's not worth all of this, but
this whole situation is just dumb. It's so overblown. Well, I can't wait for the future. Give me like 3 or 4 years and we'll see how many games are gonna use AI. They're only gonna have another meltdown. I fucking love Twitter. I don't need Netflix, I got Twitter.